the doctor who keeps celebrity athletes in the game, but his newest challenge is with the athletes of the future. I'm Terry Stanley, and in this week's Power Player, I talked to Dr. Tom Gill about the business of sports medicine. Tom, you work with many professional athletes, the Red Sox, the Bruins, and right now the Patriots. When these guys get hurt on the field, it's not unexpected. The competition is very fierce. There's billions of dollars at stake. What are a few of the major injuries that these athletes face?
Well, Terry, a lot of the injuries are very sports specific. So in football, as you might guess, there's a lot of what we call contact or traumatic injuries. So you'll have shoulder dislocations, labral or rotator cuff tears, a lot of knee injuries, and then obviously now concussions have gotten a lot of play. But part of that, I think, is because our diagnostic skills are so much better for those as well.
Now, you have a much younger clientele as well. Tell me, why are so many of your patients under the age of 18?
You know, probably when you and I were growing up, we played 3 different sports. You know, you had a fall sport, you had a winter sport, a spring, and then in the summer you either had a job or you went to camp. But now what's happened is, I would say, an epidemic of overuse injuries in kids. You know, a couple of my kids play hockey. It seems like hockey is just year-round. And, you know, baseball is another big sport where the more you do it year-round, the more injuries you can get. But what a lot of young pitchers don't realize is that even in Major League Baseball, pitchers basically do not pick up a baseball from the day the season ends, usually until about January 1st.
Right.
But yet our kids don't. Our kids are going year-round. And I think that's probably the single biggest reason why I'm seeing so many more shoulder and elbow injuries in my sports medicine practice today.
And what do you think some of the driving forces are behind why are they playing multiple sports?
There's a lot of pressure now to specialize early, as if you haven't specialized by the time you're 10 years old, you know, you have no chance to compete at a higher level. And I think there's a lot of driving forces for that right now. I think from the kids, if they want to play on a high school varsity team, you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, if you're not going to your sports camp in the summer to get that extra training, if you're not playing your sport year-round, you can't compete at the high school level. So I think from a kid's perspective, they want to be able to play, and so they want to specialize. But I think there's a lot of parental pressure as well. You know that for the incoming class at a couple of my son's schools, that he's applying to 39,000 applications for 1,800 spots. And it's what's going to separate my child from getting in? How am I going to get into Harvard? How am I going to go to MIT if I don't have a single sport that I'm going to be the next Olympian or the next Major League Baseball player? So there's just so much pressure on kids now, and I've just been a firm believer that the single best thing we can do for our kids is encourage multiple different sports, cross-train, and the skills you learn from one, believe it or not, will actually make it easier and make you a better athlete in quote-unquote your prime sport.
What kinds of technology are you using or advancing to treat professional athletes, and do you use those same technologies on teenagers?
Absolutely, that's a great question, and actually this is the perfect environment to be talking about this. Just right up on the hill here at the Brigham and Women's Mass General Healthcare Center, Dr. Eric Bergson and I have developed a sports performance center. Dr. Bergson has taken a lot of the video work that was put together for the movie Avatar, or for Lord of the Rings, where you're making these animated creatures, but they're all based on human form. And what we do is we have a ring of, say, 20 high-speed, high-technology, high-definition cameras, and then we have our athletes go, and what we'll do is we'll take that motion, we take the video from it, and on top of that, we can put these, they're called IMUs, and what they do is they allow us to specifically measure force at the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the hips, the knees. We can literally take the images of the athlete when he felt good, one fixed pitch when he or she didn't feel good, superimpose them, and we can tell to 1/10 of a degree their arm angles, the mechanics, and hopefully then help coach that athlete to prevent injury in the future.
You head up the sports medicine division at Mass General Hospital. How has the influx of the younger athletes impacted your business?
You know, what is sports medicine? It's taking care of athletes of all ages. It's the youth, from pediatrics, the adolescent. the young adult, the 20s and 30s, and then, but you know, for those of us kind of creeping up on 50,
who still
who still want to play, and the weekend warriors, you know, our goal is, and our whole philosophy is, the longer you can keep people active, the healthier they're going to be.
Well, thank you very much,
It's
Tom,
a pleasure,
for
Terry.
spending some time here on Gillette Field.
Thanks some more. Great to see you, Terry.
And doing Power Player. Thanks.
You're welcome.